podcast. We're having a special guest here, Mr. Armando.
Thank you for
How are
having me,
you,
guys.
sir?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, man. Good, good.
Nice, fresh off of your victory, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, it feels good to be on top. And now, hopefully, this week I can take care of Franklin and then be on my way for 3-0.
Nice, beautiful start.
Pedro, are you able to send this to?
Yes, I just got in. I had to delete the old one. And I'm gonna get the shareable link and I'm gonna put it in WhatsApp for everybody to see.
Are you able to see the chats, like people talking? Like, how do I?
That's we're all watching this for the first time, Alfredo. I'm trying to figure it out myself I'm- as we go. Let's see. For that, I think you would need to go into the actual uh, go into the live port over here in our YouTube channel,
Okay.
or just go to our YouTube
There's a
channel and
chat
click.
message. Somebody wrote a message. Oh no, that's studio chat. Okay. Okay, maybe
Let's see if I can get on here and see
Wait,
what's going on.
I'm gonna get on from my phone just for the hell of it, just to see.
Yeah, see if you can see it.
Okay. Yep. I see it on the. Let's see if I can get
Perfect.
on here and see. I'm gonna get on from my phone just for the hell of it, just to see. Yeah, see if you can see it. Okay.
I just saw I just saw a
I see it on the.
Guru League podcast. Come on,
You
our
have to
competition.
enable the chat, Pedro.
Enable the chat. It's enabled.
It's not letting me.
Let me see. I mean,
Oh, okay. Steven is here. Okay, yeah, let's go.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're here. Steven, I know Steven is there. That's who I wanted to see. And Franklin is on too.
3 new chat. Oh, okay, so I see it on my end over here as
All right.
well.
All right, let's go. Let's start.
All righty, guys. So we are back on the podcast. We are here with Armando. How are you doing today, Armando?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on. How you guys doing?
Ah, I'm doing okay, trying to figure all this stuff out as we go. But now that we are here, there's a few things that we need to get off our chests. Before we start with your power rankings, Armando, we got to make sure everybody has an idea of what went down during our trade, Alfredo.
Well,
Please.
So just to make sure that everybody has an idea of what happened, Alfredo, who reached out to who?
well, I sent you an offer first earlier in the day.
Okay.
That's the first thing I did, and that because I wanted Laporta.
Yeah.
So I wanted to upgrade my tight end. If you probably heard in the podcast earlier, and I do agree, I needed to improve on my tight end. So then obviously I wanted to look for someone like I wanted Laporta or I wanted Bowers. So then I sent an offer to Pedro. Obviously, as the first offer, this Armando very well. The first offer is always not going to be a good one. You're always going to try to lowball to
It's
see if
always
you can
crap.
get a steal. It always happens.
Yeah, I try to do it kind of just like I'm interested.
Eh,
That's the offer.
exactly, exactly.
It's obviously not final.
So then, obviously, after that, then
Hmm.
Pedro sent me a message later on, and he tells me, "Are you? What was it?
But what was I'm sorry. What was the first offer?
The first offer, if I remember correctly, was Laporta for I think it was Amari Cooper.
Yeah, for Amari Cooper.
And so I pretty much at that point knew that he was ready. He was ready to negotiate. And this is something that went on for like a few hours because I'm not a hard person to reach. It just has to be the right time. If you get
Okay.
me at night, you could call. We could talk. But if you get me during the day, it's almost impossible. So with Afraid, it was pretty much around the same thing. So he sent me that information that day, and that was earlier in the day, and I saw it. I think while I was at work, and I saw it, and I was like, huh, "All right, let's see what we got." And he sent me that offer, and I knew it was crap when I first saw it. And I said, "Okay, so you want Laporta?" I sent him in a text message,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and he said, "Yeah, man, I want to see. I want Laporta. I need to upgrade my tight end." Let me
So,
see if I can pull up.
so I have the message. I have the message here. So then Pedro, he's the one who made the offer, and this is in case people say because in Armando, I know you're new into our league,
Hmm.
but people want to give this thing that we are that my brother and I that we collude.
Yeah,
A few years ago,
I'm kind of in that camp a little bit. I'll be honest.
you are.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, but I know that's probably a story.
Yeah, no. People think that we colluded. For example, a few years ago, he gave me Debo Samuel and Miles
Mm.
Sanders for Rondé Moore, and there was some other guy. At the time, the league went crazy for it, but
Rondell
Rondé
Moore.
Moore did good, but it was because Rondé Moore got hurt.
Mm.
And then the year after that, we had the Stephon Diggs. So this is where the league went. Basically, this is why the committee was formed.
Yes,
I
we are
had
the reason.
Stephon Diggs. I was how most of our people are like right now. We went through a whole bunch of injuries. So my first week, I had Cooper Cup, in which he was basically going to be out. I had a
Mm.
few other injuries. So I had one big piece, Stephon Diggs. This was after week one. So I decided, okay, I'm going to trade, try to get Stephon Diggs, get 2 or 3 pieces so I can have depth. I projected that the you know, to win this league, you need to have depth. So I said, let me go ahead and do that. And I traded Stephon Diggs. Hey, good comment, Danny. I traded Stephon Diggs for DK Metcalf and Mike Williams. I wanted those players. He was offering me Saquon Barkley. He was offering me Derrick Henry. I did not want it. I did not want. I wanted
No,
Mike Williams.
tell the story how it's supposed to go for you.
Go finish it. Go
You
say it because
you
I don't feel like that's such a bad trade. Like it's not so lopsided. I mean, obviously, I don't know the context of the year.
Well, look, this is the
it
thing.
was
And
last year. It was
that
this
was
last
that
year.
was last year. The basically the biggest issue at that time was he didn't want Puka because he thought Puka was a myth, and I had just picked up Puka, and that was his whole thing in the beginning. Puka's a myth. That
Hmm.
doesn't that guy's good now, but he's not going to be good. And look, this year he was basically a second round pick.
I don't blame
So
them though. I mean, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen all the
Well,
time.
okay. So that first week, I had
Hmm.
the first waiver wire. I
mhm.
had the opportunity to get Puka.
And you
I
didn't.
didn't get him.
Oh
It was
man.
Puka. It was Kyron Williams. I instead, and I was the number one. I chose Joshua Kelly because
Oh no.
Eckler went down, and I'm like, whoa, this guy is going to break out. They had a great running game,
Hmm.
and I picked Joshua Kelly over Puka
Mhm.
and Kyron Williams.
And
That
I think
Danny
around
ended up.
that time, Eckler was like on a podcast or something. He was saying, "Oh yeah, Kelly's ready. He's ready to
Yeah,
take the role, the
yeah.
workload."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was
all
thinking.
lies.
Exactly. Yeah.
So later on in that week,
Hmm.
I wanted to get rid of Stephon Diggs, and he offered me Puka. I said no, I don't want Puka. He was
Okay,
willing to give
fair.
me. He was willing to give me because Puka was an unknown. Then he was offering me Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry.
Mhm.
I wasn't a Barkley fan, and Henry was too old. I told him no, and I
Hmm.
told him I want Mike Williams and DK Metcalf. Those
And
are
I said send it.
two solid receivers,
Right. For an
and
elite guy.
for an elite guy, okay,
Hmm.
I had depth.
Damn, that
And
Mike got hurt.
but then exactly, but when the trade happened, the league went all crazy.
Hmm.
They wanted to ban us. They wanted to do this. And
I don't
then
feel like that's that bad.
especially when my brother and I, then we had a podcast, him and I, explaining the trade, and they went even crazy. I had a feeling, and I predicted it, that Stephon Diggs at the end of the year was not going to be the same. And at the end, I was right.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
But then after that, everybody went crazy, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a committee. So every time my brother and I, we have trade talks, the league is already, because they feel that it's collusion. They felt that I helped them, but
So,
even
so how did Jordan Mason get involved here?
well,
this is my, because this is where things go for me. I always, Alfredo would be the first to say my season last year went downhill when Jonathan Taylor came back because I had Zach Moss.
Oh,
That,
okay.
yep.
and I was winning games
And Franklin had a whole bunch of deals for you, and you did not want to trade away Zach Moss.
and I didn't want to trade away Zach Moss because the thing is, at the time, at least me, for instance, I don't like getting running backs that have lower body injuries, especially if it's something that just happened. You know, because you remember, like Saquon Barkley had it like 2 years ago, and then he came back, and now he's here. Obviously, he got injured that year too, but that was a different thing. But Zach Moss was going crazy. He was doing his best Jonathan Taylor impression, and he looked good.
Yeah, top 5 O-line.
Yeah. So I said, if Jonathan Taylor does not come back, there's no reason for him to come back because this guy is running really well. But then another thing that's happening is that he wanted to get paid, and he got paid.
So he betted his whole season on Zach Moss.
I bet a lot. I bet a big portion of my season on Zach Moss continuing what he was doing and Jonathan Taylor taking a back seat. Because during that time, that was that whole debacle with running back getting paid and nobody wanted to pay running backs. And I said, you know what? I don't think Indianapolis is going to pay him. So he's probably going to not want to play.
And he's hurt.
And he's hurt. So I didn't want to trade for a injured running back. That was the whole issue with Jonathan Taylor because Franklin had it. And he rode him all the way to the playoffs. So.
Oh man!
But Jordan Mason, like to answer your question, Jordan. So the trade was, it was revolving around Laporta, but then he said, "I'm interested in 2 players from your team. Are you willing to move Stevenson or Jameson Williams?" I told him, well, I mean, I think I didn't even answer. I wasn't.
No, he didn't answer because Alfredo. That's the way Alfredo works. He didn't answer because at the moment he wasn't. He saw that he was like, I'm not trading Laporta for Laporta and giving up those 2.
So then he said, Pedro, at 10:52 p.m., would you take Mason and Laporta for Stevenson and Williams?
Yeah.
And I mean, I
Alfredo was like, send it.
No. I still had my doubts. I was giving away Stevenson and Williams. Stevenson,
Laporta.
and for just Laporta, I'm like,
and Mason.
Yeah, Mason, but remember, Mason is going to be only for a few good weeks. When McCaffrey comes back, Mason becomes irrelevant. So I was like, I was hesitant. But I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take the risk.
Yeah, that's where the thing came because I understand where I'm at with my team. I'm more level-headed now than I was last year because last year it was the opposite of this year. Last year, for week 1, I didn't do well. But everything week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, 135 points, 145 points, 130 points, and I was scoring. Last year, I ended up being, I think it's the 4th highest scorer in the league, but the 2nd highest in points against.
Yeah, you didn't make the playoffs.
And I didn't make the playoffs because of that. Alfredo, on the other hand, he scored points against him is the lowest, like it is every year.
My defense is great. I play great defense, man.
Oh yeah,
it's better to be lucky than good, no?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's my problem. I'm always unlucky,
No,
even if I'm good or not.
Pedro long term, and someone in our chat, Danny said, and
Mhm.
it's true. Pedro could potentially win long term.
Hmm.
He could. It could be possible. If McCaffrey comes back, then this was a bad deal. But it's a risk that I'm willing to take. Right now, at least I'm averaging 140 on my projections. So, so that's how the trade happened. So that's in case anybody wants to find out, that was a trade, no collusion, nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I personally would have had a hard time letting go of Mason. Like
What's your thought? I want to hear you out. What's your thought on the trade?
when I first looked at it, I was kind of like, "What? What just happened here?" He just Pedro just gave away Mason. Um, especially being 0-2. Like I don't think I would have given that up, and then also give away Laporta. I understand that he's not doing well, and I understand that Pedro got likely. Um, but I think I would have gotten something else extra, like 3 players, if you were going to get Laporta, because I feel like you pay a high price for that player, and I know that draft season's over, but I would have still taken just another piece. Um, so I don't know. I'm kind of like I feel like it's close. I don't feel like it's a bad trade. I don't feel like it's collusion. um, I feel like it's a coin flip, but I mean I don't know. I think even if like my mom had CMC and she was 0-2, I wouldn't give her Mason. Like she's not gonna take him away from me because I think there is a good chance that McCaffrey maybe doesn't even play in the fantasy season,
Hmm.
and mainly because the report came out that the week he got put on IR, so week 2, that Thursday or Friday was the worst pain that he had experienced.
Yep.
Hmm.
So he's going to go on IR. That's 4 weeks. This is week 2. So what? That's week 6. If there's any type of ramp up, 7, 8, now it's like, what are you going to get out of McCaffrey? 4 games? I don't think they take Mason away just like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's a risk that I wasn't willing to take because I got burned last year. It's a same. Think about it. It's almost the exact same situation.
Yeah.
And I got burned last year. And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna get burned again. I'd rather get something out of this, especially now that he is as high as it is, and he's going to continue to perform. It's not like it's a scrub that only had 2 good weeks. He's in the basically the number one offense in football,
Yeah.
monster offensive line, and he has there are pieces around, and they continue to give him the ball because that is what that team is. They're a run first team. So anybody will be happy to get them and get him, and I'm happy to have him.
Mhm.
But I need to recognize that I didn't pay anything for this guy, and I need pieces around him
So
because
Armando,
I'm dead in the water right now if I don't get a win soon.
so you would have requested an additional player?
Yeah, I don't know which player right now, but I would have definitely gotten somebody else. I don't know. Like I know the fanfare, let's call it, with Jamison Williams. I know he's blowing up right now, but it's just Mason's just going to touch the ball all the time. That's my thing. And with the way the offenses are doing so poorly this year, maybe it's just now, but it feels a little bit like, is the fantasy game going back a little bit to running backs, just a little bit more than the receivers, because they're so volatile right now.
Yep.
Look at Jamar Chase.
Yep. Yep.
That's a great example. Um, so I don't know. I just feel like the Mason and then the Laporte on top of it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it individually?
I feel good, man. I feel it's a risk. I'm hoping. Here's the thing. My hope, and especially with an Achilles injury. I'm sorry, reading the chats. Reading the Achilles injury.
Hmm.
When you're injured with your Achilles, look at Kevin Durant. He had a calf injury. And then what happened when he got back? He tore his Achilles. Those things, you can't get rid of it that easily. I'm not hoping for injury, but I don't think McCaffrey is going to be 100% for this whole year.
Yeah.
I don't think so. You know, the what would be the rush for the 49ers to get him into the roster? The running game is still great. They're still running the ball. So why would they need to rush him? That's what I'm saying.
No,
I
for
said the
sure. They're
same thing
trying. They're
last
trying
week.
to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
And one last thing, I would have taken personally. I think I would have taken either Bucky Irving or Jonathan Brooks on top of that. Just looking
Yeah.
at your team right now.
Yeah, I thought about it too, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to spook Alfredo.
Oh, you
nah,
never know,
yeah,
man. You got to send it.
yeah.
If I
How
was
do you feel, Pedro?
basically, I'm still torn, bro, because like I remember Danny mentioned it. It's an elite move to before anything happens to pick this guy up, knowing that he's dealing with something, and it's the number one team in football that runs the ball. And I thought about it, and then I sat down and I said, you know what? I didn't pay anything for this guy. I dropped somebody that was on my bench and that wasn't doing anything for me. So I said, you know what? Let's take a shot, and it paid off. So and at the same time, I had Laporta sitting there. I had two tight ends. What is the true value of a elite tight end if that supposed elite tight end is not producing?
Yeah,
Fair.
that's remember that's just right now. Everybody's just getting slow. When you're elite, you're elite. You're not gonna just forget how to play.
Yeah.
They're gonna feed him the ball. He's gonna start making plays, and he's gonna be, rightfully so, like an elite.
Do you feel
Now,
maybe a little bit, Pedro, that you rushed that decision?
hmm Yeah,
Because you're 0
but
2, maybe like a prisoner of the moment?
yeah,
Because I feel like Laporte is going to get his, just like how Jameson is.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
feel
but
like it's
right.
going to come.
Last year there weren't any mouths to feed over there. It was just the Amon Ra show, and then Laporta came later. So now it's Jameson. There's the Amon Ra, which is dealing with some kind of injury right now, and now you also have Laporta that it seems like he's the one that hasn't been getting fed. It feels to me like he's in the doghouse right now for some reason, which is weird because if you think about it, his coaches used to be a tight end. I would assume that he would be happy to have a tight end scoring touchdowns and doing things that he wasn't able to do back in the day. But obviously, that's not the case. He's pissed at him for some reason. Just block.
So let me ask you, Pedro. Now that we're talking about trades and stuff like that,
hmm
how was did anybody propose you any trades during the week?
For Mason,
No, for any other player, like Jonathan Taylor, because you have big thought of Jonathan Taylor.
listen, the only person that sent me anything for Jonathan Taylor was Franklin, because Franklin is in love with Jonathan Taylor, and I know that. It was funny because in the podcast today they were talking. They're like, I think it was Steven who brought it up. Like, the brothers trade together because the brothers know each other. They know what each other likes. I know exactly what Alfredo likes, and Alfredo knows exactly what I like. So Alfredo can set up a trade in his head and say this is what I'm willing to give up to Pedro, and Pedro will probably take it. And I have the same thought in my mind.
And how about with Franklin? You said
With
Franklin.
The thing with Franklin is that Franklin sometimes has a bigger idea of his team than is reality.
So he
And
like daydreams about
because I know, and that's why I put it. That's why I put my team name at Chufa, because I know what I am. I know what I am right
So
now.
you feel that Franklin should be part of that? Consider himself a churre type of
No,
thing?
no. Franklin. The thing with Franklin is that Franklin drafts really well. I admire the way Franklin drafts because generally every year he's in contention.
Okay.
Um, Same thing with Danny, and to a lesser extent this year Steven. But this this thing with trading, because I've always traded with Franklin. Last year I got CJ Stroud from him, and it ended up well for me.
Do you want to
I,
say what was the offer that was given to you from Franklin?
if he gives me the okay, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, he is. He did.
He did. Well, I'm not looking at the chat. So if he's giving me the okay, I want to see it in the chat.
Come on. He told me to ask you the question.
Oh, so he wanted me to say,
Yeah, yes. Bring it up.
all right, cool.
Talk about your trade, your potential trade.
Okay.
Do you regret
Let me
not
let me
doing
bring
that
it up.
trade?
Let me bring it up because you sent it to me here. I'm gonna bring it up here on my WhatsApp.
Nice.
I wish I could show you guys in person, like in the video, but I don't think I can. Actually, I think I can.
Yeah, he responded. Go for it.
All right, so this is what I have with Franklin. Hey, you did well. Pick him up late. Not even in draft. You burned your few years back. Free agent. That's right. All right.
Because I want to see if you really now looking to us if you really regret that trade. Offer.
Not making that trade.
Yeah.
No, of course not. He was offering me at the time because this is after we were talking about before we were talking about Stroud, and then we came into this conversation.
Yes.
He said, and I said, offer me something good for Stroud, and then on Monday, if he texts me, if I offer Ayuk and Aaron Jones, will you be willing to part with JT?
Ayuk.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Really. But this is the thing. He says in the podcast, this is what I'm telling you. He makes it look like Ayuk is this Greek god out there.
Yeah, for sure. So he's playing all of us, huh? Reverse psychology.
Yeah, he's playing the long game with Ayuk. And this is before the Debo thing. This is the key. This is before the Debo thing. So
Okay.
if I offer Ayuk
but
and
instead
Aaron
of he offered someone else.
well, no, let's get there. If I offer Ayuk and Aaron Jones, will you be willing to part with JT? I was like, nah, bro. I wasn't planning on moving him. Definitely not for Ayuk. He isn't even a number one on his own team.
Oh,
that's what I think.
Killed him with that.
So I don't mind.
Oh man.
Bro, y'all think that I don't know how this game works, bro. and especially, bro, sometimes it blows my mind the trade offers I get just because I'm in last place. I'm in last place not because I don't know how to play the game. I'm in last place because I drafted that. I got unlucky. Not because I don't know how to play the game. So, and then after that, I told him, if you want to make a deal, I'm open for it. Just know Ayuk. I don't like Ayuk.
Oh man, that's worse. Just don't even put him in there because I won't even look at it, right?
Yeah. Don't bring the guy's name up again because I don't like him.
Maybe he confuses Ayuk. I think doesn't he have dreadlocks? Ayuk. Maybe he thinks he's CD Lamb or something. You know, they kind of look alike or something. And
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. But it's incredible. Every time he comes with me, like, oh, this guy's the best thing ever. He says podcasts, and then he sends trade offers for Ayuk everywhere. He doesn't even like him. He's trying to give him away. So here we go. Then he gives me another trade offer: Dobbins and Ayuk. And I'm like, again, the guy with Ayuk. And then I'm thinking Dobbins. I had Gus Edwards on my team. And I had him on my team, and I still had him on my team because I'm waiting for the moment that second leg drops.
So you think Dobbins is going to get hurt?
Of course, he always gets hurt, bro. Dobbins doesn't make it past half the season. Ever.
I think he's just a September guy.
It's possible, you know? So, and I tell him, how is it that you say Franklin? Elite player
that's
for
why he
elite
sold
player.
him with Steven with the Pacheco trade.
There you go. Yeah, but he got him to get that trade done. He wasn't going to get it with me, just with him, because I don't like that guy.
Okay.
He's offering people I don't like. And I tell him, how is it that you say Franklin? Elite player for elite player. Let's make a deal like that. Because it's true. Alfredo, how long have we been in fantasy football? He's every time he said, if I'm going to trade an elite player, I will expect an elite player back.
Yeah, he has always said that.
Okay. So why is your philosophy changing when you're trading with me?
What do you think about the trade offer, Armando?
Which
it
one?
was Dobbins and Ayuk for Taylor.
No, I wouldn't take that ever. Because Dobbins doesn't even catch the ball. I know Taylor's not catching it now either, but it's a Chargers offense. I mean, I'd rather be tied to Indianapolis. And Jonathan Taylor's just a better player. Unfortunately, Dobbins got hurt a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Last year, he didn't finish, I think, the first game. It must have been the first game because I remember being at K May's house and I was like, oh, look, he fell. That's it. It's over. And then he was getting carted off because his Achilles
The first game of the
gave
season.
out. Right? It was the first one?
The very first game of the season, he was. I think it was in
He was still
the
with the
second
Ravens, right?
drive of the game.
Yeah. So, and Ayuk's not a bad NFL receiver, but for fantasy, he was just so efficient last year. And I think I don't remember where he finished, but I don't think it was top 10.
No.
Maybe top
No, he
15.
wasn't. Yeah, probably top
Right.
15.
So he was super efficient. Didn't eclipse that. No, I don't think so. And then honestly, I have my doubts now with that offense. I mean, look how Purdy looks without CMC. He doesn't have those easy dump offs because Jordan Mason's a great player, but he's good for running the ball. As far as they haven't put him out there to catch passes.
Nope.
So he doesn't have those dump offs, those quick reads, that he can rely on with Christian. And Christian gets 20 yards when he touches the ball.
Yeah.
So it's easier to be an NFL quarterback in that position. And, I think we see a different Purdy this year as well. So a different Ayuk.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case, and it's funny because then he tries to rationalize it, and this is the funny part, because y'all think I was just that everything before that was funny. No, this is funny, and he's like, let's analyze that. Taylor, 26 total fantasy points. Dobbins, 40 total fantasy points. Taylor, offense centered around a quarterback. Dobbins, offense centered around a running back. Run first offense. You're lost, dude. And I'm like, why would I trade for a guy that could get hurt tomorrow?
Yeah.
With a guy that is, obviously, Jonathan Taylor has gotten injured in the past, but he always comes back.
I mean, I feel like his arguments are true.
Mm-hmm.
They are real. He's not lying. He's not being hyperbolic. He's not exaggerating. But you have to play, I think, for upside. And I think Taylor gives you the best chance for that, not Dobbins. He has to do what he's doing right now to give you those points. Like, he has to go above 100 yards, a touchdown. Taylor, we've seen him catch.
Yeah.
And we've seen him have a top. Did he finish first one season?
Yeah.
Top
He
5.
did. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And that's where people fall in love with him, with Jonathan Taylor. That year that he had a whole bunch of runs, I think he was a rookie or his second year.
I think he was a rookie.
Great. He was being ranked number 1 overall and this and that. But yeah, I think I wouldn't have made the trade.
Yeah, I heard a stat about that season the other year that was pretty interesting. He had 84 or 85 red zone carries, and the second guy had like 40.
So Pedro, let me ask you about the beer bet.
Oh, what about it?
What do you have to say about that?
Wait, okay, which beer bet are you referring to? Yeah, there's so many beer bets going around now. I don't even know which one you're talking about.
You know the one. You know which one I'm talking about.
You mean the one?
Franklin.
Oh, the one with Armando?
No. What you were projecting? Who's gonna be on top at the end of the year?
Between Dobbins and
Taylor.
JP?
Yes.
Bro, I don't think Dobbins makes it past week 6, bro. He's never made it past week 6.
So you're confident that you're gonna win that bet?
Of course, bro. Man, this guy hasn't
Do you
made
want to
it
say
past.
the bet? Do you want to say what the bet is?
Bro, I don't even know which bet you're talking about.
The beer bet.
It's not here in the chat.
It's not in the chat. I've never made that bet with him.
Okay.
He's making things up, bro.
Okay.
He's putting things in your head, dog.
Who do I have a beer bet with about JSN and Kirk? It says H and Armando. Anyway,
I think that was Steven. Because I think I remember that one. I don't remember My memory is
I
not
guess your
good
memory's
memory.
faulty. Well, before we get on, we might go back to it at the end. I mean, we brought Armando here because also, for him, he wanted to give his pickums for the week. You haven't given him your pickums, right, for this week?
No, the power rankings.
Oh, your power ranking. Sorry.
Yeah, I got the power rankings. I
All
could
right.
also do the pickums real quick.
Okay.
I mean, I put them on the chat, but we can go over them.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go get onto it. And if anything, we'll go back on that beer bet with Franklin.
So you want to do the power rankings first?
Yeah, let's start with the power ranking. So we're gonna have Armando's power ranking now, and obviously in the pickums, we'll talk about your matchup with Steven. I know you and Steven have a love-hate relationship with each other, but let's
Oh no,
start.
it's all love. But when it comes to fantasy, yeah, I want to kick us.
So let's start. Do you want to start in the top or in the bottom?
You guys tell me. You guide me, and I'll just talk, I guess.
Let's start from the bottom. It's always from the bottom. It's churre. The worst of the
Okay,
worst.
so the bottom of the barrel, as you guys call it.
Who do you have at number 10 at the bottom of the barrel?
Man, it's unfortunate, especially for my power rankings, because I had him first to start the year after the draft, and it's easily just Ralphie's team.
Wow.
He's got nobody. I think I'm on his bench. Let me just go over here to look at his team real quick. He lost Puka. He lost Cooper Cup. So basically, last week I had him at 6th, and I've dropped him all the way down to 10.
Yeah, this is a huge drop. To drop him all the way to number 10.
Yeah, completely last. He didn't play Baker last week. I don't know what happened there. He has T. Higgins in his starting lineup. We're not even sure if he's going to play. Terry McLaurin has disappeared with Jaden Daniels at quarterback. It seems that Jaden Daniels doesn't want to throw the ball downfield. And looks like Jaden Reed is questionable. So just more injuries for his team. And yeah, like this team is just, he had drafted so many players to have depth because he skipped on quarterback. And he's really having to empty the well here.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker also hurt. I mean, I think this team struggles to get to 100 points this week. DJ Moore is not really doing that much with Caleb over there.
Yep.
Bijan's been doing, I guess the regular Bijan stuff, 15, 16 points a game, which is good. And I think this is one of the biggest surprises of the year. Dalton Kincaid. He's on a milk carton.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. I played Keon Coleman against the Dolphins. He had 0, donut, bagel.
Yep.
I think Kincaid had 2 points,
Yep.
kind of the Kelsey effect. So, yeah, I got Ralphie all the way at the bottom, a couple steps, and then we get to 9th.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can imagine. He's so, and the thing with him is that he doesn't do any trades. He doesn't do anything. He's definitely in a really bad situation.
Yeah.
He's not someone who tries to get out of his way, looking for waiver pickups. I mean, yesterday was a perfect opportunity to go through that waiver line and make some pickups, and he hasn't done anything. So, I mean, I think, that clown suit that we're having for the one in last place is going to fit him very nice. So, let's go on to you. Well, you said that you have number 10 and then all the way up to number 9. So, I guess there's a big difference between 9 and 10. So, who do you have at number 9?
Okay, so number 9, I have sinking ship. Steven.
Even.
Wow. Now, first of all, is there any emotions in these rankings?
Of course, I wanted to put him 10th, but it's just that Ralphie has too many injuries.
Wow.
No, I'm
Steven
joking.
at number 9.
I actually had Steven as one of my risers last week. We talked about him. I had him at 7th. So originally I had him at 9th. I brought him up to 7th, even though he lost. But I'm bringing him back down. That the loss of Pacheco is huge for his team. Rashad White also looks like he's dealing with injuries. And here, let me just get to his team.
Well, I mean, he does have CD Lamb, so at least he has something there.
Right, but I don't know. Are they starting to figure out that there's really nothing else in Dallas, and they're just double teaming him?
Okay.
So he does have Brock Bowers, which is a great pickup. George Pickens, it's just who's throwing the ball to him. I know he could have had a great game, but he's just not putting up points, and he just seems to be that boom bust person. And yeah, I just think this team is in a bad place. He's got Quinn and Johnson. Now he's got both LA Charger receivers in a run heavy attack. He's got Dobbins. I think Danny was saying this earlier that he must love the Chargers. He's got
Yeah,
three
he has
players.
three players from the Chargers.
Yeah, and that's projected to be just one of the lower offenses. They're in a rebuild phase. So he picked up Damian Pierce.
He picked up Damon Pierce.
I guess he's hoping. He didn't practice either, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to find needles in the haystack right now.
Okay. So for sure, I feel you have your no emotions. You have your full recollection that sinking ship deserves to be at number 9.
Yeah, that Titanic is way further down than what he has in the picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Steven falling. So let's go on to number 8. Still the teams that won't make the playoff. Who do you have on number 8?
So number 8, I had KMA, but I'm not sure if I should change it to a Chure.
Hey, Chuba at number 8. Put me at number 8. That's fine.
I think you just want to own it now. Yeah, because I actually had you as one of my risers. I had you at number 7 because I really like that Jordan Mason that you had there. And then this morning, we got the news that a trade had been made.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just look one more time at KMA's team.
Before you go to Armando, going back
Yeah.
to last week's podcast that you had with Pedro, how did Pedro took? How was his face when you ended up putting him at number 9 last week?
Oh, shit. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I
straight
think
up,
it was her. He's like, "Hey, man, I just lost one game. How you gonna put me at 9?" But
I own
he was
it,
a good
man.
sport about it.
Okay, all right. So you're trying to decide KMA or Chure at number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alfredo was just pissed because I put him at number 9 last time. So
That
Yeah,
was such a long
funny.
time ago. I bet if you do your power rankings now, Pedro, you probably wouldn't have me at number 9.
I don't know. Unfortunately, no. But hey, you're always number 10 in my heart, bro.
Yeah, I think I gotta keep KMA there at number 8. I just don't have a lot of confidence in this team. He's got Brandon Cooks, Ezekiel Elliott. He played Charbonnet, which did well, but if he starts, it's up to if Kenneth Walker plays or not. And I think El Churre has just a little bit more upside because even though he did trade away those players, he did get Ramondre, who's been doing well. My only complaint with him is that he does have to touch the ball like 25 times to get points.
Yeah.
So, but I do like the upside of Jameson Williams because he has shown to blow up, catch a long touchdown. So that's important. So yeah, I think I would keep it like that. I would have KMA.
So
At 8.
KMA at number 8. Now you do know last week he blew up. So do you think this was a fluke, that blow up that he had last week of 140 points?
He had 140 points?
Close to it, yeah. I think he had 140
Really?
points last week.
I think it was 144 points.
Yeah, 144.
He must have paid somebody at Yahoo to add 20 points. I did not see that, really. Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, let me put some respect on his name.
Yeah, he scored 144 points last
He
week.
did.
So,
Okay.
but actually 148. No, sorry, 144. You're right. 140. Sorry. So okay, so you have KMA number 8, and number 7 you have, I imagine, Pedro then, right?
Yes, I have El Churre.
Okay. in which you went ahead and said he has more potential for breakthrough.
I think so, yeah. Especially this week. I like his matchups.
Okay. So you're basically going on so far with the team records that are usually 0 and 2, with the exception of Ralph and KMA. But okay. So now we're gonna move on to the teams that will basically be, if based on your rankings, the playoffs. Who do you have at number 6?
So number 6 right now, I have Los Coquis. I have him going down a couple of spots because I really do like his team, but he's just hurt right now. He doesn't have AJ Brown. He lost Debo Samuel. Xavier Worthy looked great the first game, put up a dud the next, which is expected, which is fine. I really have questions about DeAndre Swift. And yeah, I do like his team. I know he's 0-2, but
So a discussion that we always have in the chat: Tank Dell. You think
okay.
Tank Dell, is he a make or break player? Some players, some guys in our league says that he's just a bust. I have good belief. I think he's at the end. He has a great relationship with CJ Stroud. I think he's gonna do good. Um, do you think what where do you fall in with the whole Tank Dell?
Nico. No, I'm
Okay.
joking. I'd rather have Dell over Diggs as an example. And I think he just dropped a couple. I think he dropped a catch. They couldn't connect on one. So I think they're still drawing him up the same. Tank Dell, they're still trying to get him the ball. It just hasn't worked out. But I think that they're still trying to do those deep shots that they were doing last year. So I'd rather have him over Rome
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
because I'd rather be attached to CJ Stroud.
Okay. All right, man. That works. Let Let's go on then. So you have Lokokis at number 6. Who do you have at number 5?
So number 5, I have another faller. No excuses. I had him at 3 last week, and I'm bringing him down to number 5.
Wow, Franklin at number 5.
Mr. Ayuk himself.
Mr. Ayuk. Any reason why you have him at number 5?
Let me just get to his team. I feel like he does have a good team. I definitely think it's a playoff team. I think right now he's just run into some high scoring matchups. Like he said, I think that is true. Sometimes you do get unlucky. I did tell him to play Dobbins last week. He would have made it a lot more closer between me and him. I think I still would have won, but maybe by like 2 or 3 points. So, but I think he's got a couple anchors on his team. You know, Kelsey, he's out there dancing with Taylor Swift. I thought it was hilarious that they threw a pass to him. He didn't score. And they changed it in Yahoo to a rush attempt. So he didn't even get the catch point.
Wow.
And then they show Taylor jumping up and down, celebrating for Travis not scoring. And yeah, I got questions about Ayuk. And then, there's really not much else in his bench. I know he likes Aaron Jones, but Aaron Jones is maybe a tier above Dobbins. He was a good player. He was with Aaron Rodgers, but he has shown to get hurt the past couple years, and he's an older running back. And Jerome Ford looks like they took his job away. I don't know what happened there. He did really well the first week, and let's see what he did this week.
Now, do you think that Franklin? I mean, normally, what one of the funniest things we have in sports is with Stephen A. Smith, that he makes fun of the Cowboys, that because they're all hype, the hype machine, and they're nothing. Do you consider Franklin like the Dallas Cowboys of the Fantasy Football Guru League, all hype but nothing?
That's a pretty fair comparison because he's been saying he loves his team ever since we drafted week 1, week 2, and it looks like behind the scenes he's trying to trade everybody away.
Now, do you
Sounds
think
like Jerry Jones to me.
it sounds like now? Do you feel that his schedule? You know, I mean, it's been very
That
mentioned
was
about
crazy.
his strength of schedule. So, do you think that's the reason why you have him at number five because he's going to get some easy wins, or he'll have the team to back it up?
No, I think he has the team to put up points. We saw great things from Jefferson, Godwin. So I think he definitely has the ability to put points. Josh Jacobs, he's the workhorse over there. So I think he's still definitely a playoff team. And, if things do work out with Pacheco, um, he's got a borderline RB1, RB2 there
Okay.
to maybe put in his flex. So he would have Gibbs, Jacobs, and Pacheco. That's pretty scary.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it has good potential. Let's move on to number four. Who do you have at number four? Now we're getting like what Franklin would say, the creme of the creme.
So number 4, I actually have Reek Havoc.
Wreak havoc.
Now this is another guy that he really hypes up his team. But looking at it, do you feel that this team, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's a good team. Obviously, losing Tua is a huge problem because now you look at his team and you're like, who here on this team is going to take the roof off? Have that eruption game that you need sometimes to push you, like to win. I think he's got a good team. He's got a good bench. Obviously, Jordan Love, I think, is a little bit better in the long run than Daniels. I think Daniels just went up against a really bad Giants team. The first game.
Yeah.
Was it the first game? No, they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
played
Daniels
now.
did okay the 1st game.
Yeah.
And Love went out on the first game. Yeah.
They played Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So I think that was just like one of those eruption games for him. I think Jordan Love in the long run is a lot better. You have a rookie in Brian Thomas Jr., but that offense just looks bad. I don't know if it's the offense, the play calling. Is it Trevor? I don't like Trevor, personally. Travis Etienne, he scores touchdowns, but 11 points, 14 points.
Yeah, it seems like he's losing his backfield as well.
Yeah, and then Drake London, I don't trust that guy
I mean,
at all.
he considers Drake London to be,
That guy stinks.
yeah, man, he sucks. Even looking at him, it's like,
Yeah, I don't like his picture.
I don't like, yeah, it's nothing, nothing to find from him.
Yeah.
He's
And
not
James
someone
Cook-
that I would be scared covering.
Yeah,
Un
but
grande por
James,
gusto, like we would call it, un grande por gusto.
yeah, that's what he seems like to be. I mean, we talked about it last time, me and Pedro, that he fits the prototype, 6'4", 2 something. But how come he just doesn't get it done?
Exactly.
That's how come he doesn't move to that next level. We saw with Garrett Wilson how he did with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So
And just to remind everybody, this guy was a second round draft pick selected by Danny.
Drake London, yeah,
Yeah,
So
this is very disappointing.
yeah. Let's move on.
let's move on to number 3. Who do you have at number 3?
So number 3, I have Yobagoya.
Okay, you have yourself.
I have myself, yeah. I feel that. I mean, Jalen Waddle, I hate to lose him, basically. He's just like a flex play now. I don't even know what to do with him. I do like my tight end. Rashi Rice has found out really nice,
Yeah.
even though everybody thought I took him early. And I feel like my bench has improved.
Yep.
So I have Jordan Addison coming back soon, hopefully. I think in the end, it'll get settled and Rico Dowdle will start taking touches away from Ezekiel.
Yeah.
And, it looks like maybe JSN is taking over the Tyler Lockett role. So that's exciting.
Yeah. It looks like he is, yeah.
Yeah, I'll confess to everybody here, I almost traded him away.
Yep. Yep.
I sent a trade offer to Alfredo for
Breaking
Amari.
news to the league.
Yeah, I was trying to what I thought was a buy low on Amari, because Deshaun looked really bad the first game. So I thought maybe there'd be a chance if he lost this game, the lawsuit,
Yeah.
that maybe Jameis comes, and he's terrible for winning games, but for fantasy, he's awesome because he's just gonna throw that ball.
Yeah.
So, but Alfredo said he didn't like JSN, so that was that.
Hey,
I don't know how he feels about it now,
you
but
want to do a trade again?
no, no, thank you.
It's all over, Alfredo. You can't give him up now.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I think Cooper will bounce back. He's getting a whole bunch of targets, so eventually they'll connect. Let's go on to your number two team. Who do you have at number two?
So number two, I have to eat crow here because I've been ranking his team at the bottom every week, but I think it's time that I accept it. He's been putting up crazy amount of points, just obnoxious. Like, who wants to play him right now?
Yeah.
I have El Tiburon. I have Alex's team. I still have my question about Neighbors and Adams. I know Neighbors went off. We talked about it last time or I talked about it with Franklin on the Guru podcast, that for that matchup we wanted to see Neighbors have 10, 12 targets to really trust them, and he had 18, which is crazy. But that feels more like an eruption spot, not like what's going to be every week. Devontae Adams, man, if the Raiders change the philosophy that they were using last year and they start throwing the ball like this is going to be awesome for Adams.
Yeah.
And I was really low on him this year. His age, the team, another quarterback change, and it's like, who is this team? So, but Adams is coming through. Alvin Kamara, I have zero Alvin Kamara anyway. I faded that guy so hard, just like Mixon. And it's coming back to bite. Kyle Pitts, doesn't really matter. There's no really tight end separating right now.
Yeah.
And then he has Amon-Ra, which is a PPR machine, and Zach Moss looks like he has the number one job in Cincinnati. So this team has got depth. Oh, and Kyler Murray, great quarterback right now for fantasy. He looks healthy. He's throwing the ball downfield. He's got young weapons, McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner running the ball. The Cardinals look like a really good offense this year. And yeah, and Saquon,
Okay.
even though he dropped the ball.
Okay. Yeah,
Fancy
he had
football.
an easy touchdown there, or at least like an easy catch.
Yeah.
So who do you have? So now we know who you have at number one. So, I guess there's not much to say, right? About now, people would say, well, Alex erupted for almost 200 points.
Mhm.
Why not he be number one?
Because I look at it more kind of from like an upside point of view. I feel like even though Adams and Neighbors did have good weeks, I feel like over the course of the year, it's gonna even out
Okay.
a lot more than I feel like your team. You have Josh Allen, you have Jamar Chase, which hopefully he turns it around. Devontae Smith is looking great right now, especially without AJ Brown. You have Devon Achane, which he's looking like, I don't know, Alvin Kamara when he was 24, Saquon Barkley when he came into the league.
Yep.
That pass that he caught towards the end of the game, towards the sideline where he jumped, I was like, oh man, this guy's going to go crazy. And I'm shocked that they're trusting him this much, considering, that he's a smaller back.
Yeah.
He does have injury history,
Yep.
but man, if only Tua could have stayed, who knows what he would be doing. I feel he's like it's going to cap him a little bit, but he's going to get the touches. If it's anybody, it's him.
I thought this is what I thought was gonna happen. I really didn't think that Monster was gonna do anything this year. Age was gonna creep in. That 20 touchdown that he had last year was an anomaly, and I don't think he was going to repeat that. So I felt that HA, yes, he is a little bit injury prone. He can get hurt. That's why I think it's essential to have the rookie right as a handcuff just in case something happens to HA. But I mean, so far he has been advertised. I mean, I love A Chain from last year. I was able to get A Chain in a trade from Steven.
Hmm.
Fortunately, he got hurt right away when I picked him up, but I just saw the potential and I fell in love with him. That I said, no, this is this guy.
You got to get him this year.
Yeah, he's gonna be an elite running back. So, I mean, I can say that I'm glad to have him. So just to recap, so number 10, you have
And then you have Mason and
and,
Laporta now.
and now I have Mason. Let's see. I'm just hoping.
Mm.
This this might be my year.
Man,
You're
hopefully-
projected for 143 points.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's put it like this. Hopefully, I sent you a poison pill for your team, man. Hopefully.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that you would probably do that, Pedro.
Yeah.
I mean,
of
I will
course.
say this, and I want to give a message out to Franklin, my Franklin. I just hope, just think about what might happen to you, and remember, the storm will be coming. First, it's gonna get dark tomorrow. Then on Sunday, it's gonna get dark, and then Monday is gonna be the hurricane with Josh Allen, Jamar Chase. Can't wait, Franklin. Just can't wait. But going on to Ralphie. So you gave already your power rankings. Any message you want to give to Steven? I know he is your opponent this week. I know you have a lot to say about him. So this is your moment. Open mic. What do you want to say to that to that Titanic sinking ship, Steven?
Well, I mean, I just want to say that I hope Nico, just like how he did to Franklin, comes out and drops almost 30 points on you and really sinks the ship, opens up more holes down in the basement area, and drops you to 0 and 3. I can't wait to change your picture, change the name, take almost control of your team. Um, as you watch the season kind of go away, float by.
Yep. Wait. Helped by Nico Collins.
That's
You know
right.
that they made fun of so much of Nico Collins last year. I had him last year, and he was great. He was great. He was,
Yeah.
And
Now I
you
love
have-
Steven. I want him in the chat. There is a part of me that wants him to win just for the good of the league. But they trash talk so much, him and Franklin, every time on the podcast when they did their power rankings 2 weeks or whatever it was, 2, 3 weeks before the season started. I had to listen in every day about Nico.
Yep.
And now who has the last laugh?
I'm laughing real hard. Especially Rasheed Wright. Steven was like, but Rasheed, I saw him go like 6th round. Every draft I did in Yahoo.
No, bro, you're bringing out the old stuff.
So Armando, so you're saying that and we give this, now we put it always with Danny, but we'll put it also here with with Steven. So you're playing chess compared to Steven playing checkers.
Absolutely. And I have JSN. He also laughed at that pick. He was like, I don't know. He's like the third wide receiver. So hopefully my players come through at the end of the day. You never know. He does have some players there. So Richardson, Lamb, some hard fades. But yeah, I think I got him. 0 and 3. Here we go.
All right, man.
The Titanic has hit the bottom.
I think this guy's gonna quit if he loses to you, bro.
You think so?
I think so, man.
I told KMA, apart from the championship, all I really wanted was to beat Franklin and Steven.
Well, no, you're gonna have a chance.
And I
this
think I
week.
got them twice.
And you're gonna get them twice.
Wow, bro.
So hopefully one win here, and then maybe I can knock them out from the playoffs.
Yeah, bro, because that's two losses on the season coming from a new guy. I already know Franklin's already gonna be pissed about that. And
Yeah.
Steven,
After this, I'm sure I'm banned from going on the Guru podcast.
well, you're always welcome on the Two versus Brother
Yeah,
podcast.
we always will take you on, bro.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
So, once, did you have your pick'ems ready?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go through them real quick, sure.
Yeah, let's go through them. Yeah. So you're picking. I know you picked yourself to beat Steven, right? All right. Let's go on. Let me. See.
Yeah, if you want to pick it.
Go with who do you think is winning Los Coquis and KMA? You can just say.
I have Los Coquis. I just think he's got more touchdown upside there. I know he's got Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Kyron Williams. What's going to happen with that offense? That old line is terrible.
Yep.
He's got Deontay Johnson starting, which is a prayer now with the red rifle.
Yep.
Is he going to go back to Thielen? We don't know. So I have Coquis, and he's got Connor. I think that was such a great addition for him.
Yep.
And now with Pacheco, maybe Worthy is going to get more touches.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I have Los Coquis.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about El Tiburon and Ralph. This probably might be the blowout of the week, right?
Yeah, this is a bad one.
It's a nasty, bro.
Nasty. This probably might be over.
Oh, they say in baseball, le ganaron con el uniforme.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's over before it begun. I mean, it's just Baker Mayfield. Did you guys see that touchdown he scored?
Yep.
He looked like Cam Newton.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he still got 19 points.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to win without a rushing quarterback, and he just doesn't have the depth, honestly, to keep up with the Tiburon. I mean, this is just going to be a smackdown.
Now, talking about SmackDown, just a series. Someone in the chat said, Yogoboya is a bully. Do you consider yourself a bully?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Right. Why? Who said that?
What do you think?
I think your week 3 opponent.
Well, he's got what's coming to him. He made his bed. Now he's going to have to lie in it.
Wow. All right, let's go on the other matchup. So you have Tiburon, Dream Team, and no excuses. Will Franklin go 0-3?
I think I just kind of ensured that, Alfredo. I sent you the key piece to sync Franklin.
Okay, well, Franklin. All right, perfect. So then, hey, you hear me, Armando?
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the teams.
Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play your team because it's just exactly what you're saying. Jamar Chase is going to play Washington. If there was ever a get-right game for Jamar Chase,
will be against Washington.
It's got to be against. Look at what Malik Neighbors did. They're kind of similar, right? They almost look the same. They move the same. They look like carbon copies of each other. And I mean, maybe Kelsey gets a little bit more touches now that they have to throw more without Pacheco. But then it's like you got Laporta and you got Mason, who's going to touch the ball a bunch. Achan, same thing. Zay Flowers, he blew up. He's got 10 targets, 11 targets.
Yeah.
And
no, that's it.
Yeah, your kicker's pretty good too.
I feel bad for next week's podcast of Steven and Franklin.
Oh,
they're both going to be 0-3, so I think this is going to be a funeral for both of them. I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to hear that, man.
It's going to be one of the saddest podcasts, I think.
Yeah, full on depression.
It's funny how he said, "Oh, no one wants to hear from a loser, so I'm not going to be part of the podcast." Oh man, I love Steven.
Yeah, I love
but now it's going to be two 0-3 teams if what you're predicting comes to pass.
I think in our podcast ranking, Two versus Brothers on top, and the Gurus I think is in the bottom. That's gonna be full on depression on the podcast rank. Nah,
Sí,
I
Cortavena.
love Franklin and Steven. All right, so let's go on to maybe might be the main event this week. Pedro against Danny.
Echure versus Rick Haddock.
Yeah. Who do you think is gonna win here?
Man, I had a Chuda winning before that trade, and now it's going to be close. This one's definitely, I think, like you said, it's the nail biter. It's the primetime event.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go. Let's see, Drake London. I think I'm gonna go at Chuda. I think I'm gonna stick with that.
Oh, so you're picking Pedro to upset Danny. Wait, let me repeat. Pedro to upset Danny.
Yes.
Wow.
Listen, if I win, I'm telling you right now, that name Echure is staying for the whole year. It doesn't matter what if I'm in first or I'm in 10th. So
Well, I will say this: if that does happen, I just have a message for Danny. How does my ass look? I hope you're right, Armando. I've been wanting to show this guy my ass for so long, and finally I can show it to him if that does happen. So
Nice. I'm happy for you, bro.
nah, but
Okay.
for real, guys, I do have a message for Danny. Danny, you have assembled a good team. Last year, you assembled the gauntlet of Thanos. This year, your team is looking okay. You drafted well, but then again, you always have that. You always have that in the back of your mind that you weren't able to get it done last year. You do have a couple of question marks on your team. Tyreek Hill is going to be the guy that's going to be the linchpin for you. Kind of like your CMC. Last year, your CMC or bust in a lot of games, giving you 30 points in some games. Tyreek Hill's not going to do that for you anymore. Am I going to be able to dethrone you and take you out of that 2-0 and give you that one that you so deserve? That 2-1. I think I will.
wow, trash talk 101. Love it, bro.
Awesome.
Guys, thank you. This is our first ever live show in the Two versus Blood podcast. Mondo, thank you for joining. We love to hear it, and we hope you will this weekend. Hopefully, you do put Steven where he belongs. It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you. We see all your comments. Excellent. Thank you, Cookies, for putting in all the projections there in writing, so we have it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for having me. And they're looking at 3 of the 5 winners this week.
There you go.
Yep. The real podcast. Bye.